Why is ICP essential? Today in this video, the Dfinity Foundation CTO, Jan, is actually going to be answering that question for us. Today, we're just going to be reacting to this video on the Dfinity Foundation's YouTube channel that's called Why ICP Essential World Computer Tech Talks with CTO, Jan. All right, so yeah, we're going to hop into it. It's a reaction video to this question or this video, whatever.
Compute is the lifeblood of society. There's hardly anything that we do today that does not involve software in one form or another. Our current IT stack is complicated, sometimes fragile, and can no longer be reliably protected from cyber attacks. That's why almost everybody has moved their software on.
You know, I don't want to cut off Jan too quickly in this video, but one of my buddies actually always says this to me. He always says ICP is tokenized compute. And to be honest, I don't think that really means shit to like a normal investor who doesn't understand crypto. But it's actually a pretty powerful statement. And I think something a lot of people are sleeping on, especially the cyber attack thing he's even getting to, because the cyber attack crisis is really a big thing. $1 trillion issue, I'm pretty sure.
Onto the cloud, entrusting the cloud provider with that task. Now, this is problematic for two reasons. Handing over operations also means handing over the control of one's software and data to these third parties. Worse, it's not even working. The cost spent on IT is ever growing, as is the damage caused by cybercrime. Clearly, a radically different approach is needed. In fact, we all know a computer that is built very differently from the current IT stack, and that does not suffer from these problems. Bitcoin.
Ooh.
It has never been hacked, despite the large amount of money at stake. You might think I'm crazy.
And that's true. That is one of the big things about Bitcoin. It has, never been hacked, and that's I think Ethereum was hacked. Ethereum was hacked in its early days, actually, and that's why they have the fork between ETH Classic and Ethereum. And ETH Classic is actually the OG Ethereum, and a lot of people don't know that, which is pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure it was the Ethereum DAO that was hacked, actually. Could be wrong there. I know it got hacked in some sort of form. Not sure if it was the actual chain or the DAO, but there was a fork, which is why we have ETH Classic and Ethereum. But it's also another thing about interesting that's about Bitcoin is there's all this talk about in the future, could it be hacked with quantum computing and all this other shit. But for now, it has not been hacked.
Bitcoin wastes a ton of energy, is very slow. It's not even a computer.
It wastes energy, but at the same time, it doesn't really waste energy. I mean, if you look into what the miners are doing down in Texas, they're actually, the Bitcoin miners are helping support the electric grid in Texas. So the energy thing is kind of, I'm not a big fan of the Bitcoin waste energy narrative because it's actually pretty useful when it comes to stabilizing the grid in certain areas. So.
Computer, but only a ledger that keeps track of who owns how much Bitcoin. How could one possibly run all of the world's software like that? The reason that Bitcoin is secure is twofold. It is a computer, well, maybe more like a pocket calculator, that is created by a mathematical protocol. So it's pure math. It cannot be hacked. 2 + 2 will always be 4. But that's not enough. You don't want to trust a single entity running that protocol. It could be hacked, bribed, or be outright malicious. You want to have many parties running that same protocol, assuming the majority is honest. So if all of them, or at least the majority, tells you the same result, you're good. At Dfinity, we have taken that principle of building a computer from protocol, all the latest research in cryptography and distributed systems, and spent over 1,000 person-years to design and build the Internet Computer Protocol. This protocol has been running in production since May 2021 without ever missing a beat nor ever being hacked. The protocol provides smart contracts with lots of storage, computational power, communication bandwidth, just like any ordinary computer would. This is how ICP delivers on the world computer vision. Therefore, from an end user's perspective, this feels and looks as if the software ran on AWS or Google Cloud. For instance, a user can just fire up a browser, enter the URL of an ICP smart contract, and bingo, they're already using an application that runs on the internet computer. For the end user, the big difference is not visible. Because ICP is a protocol, the applications built by smart contracts on ICP are unhackable and unstoppable.
And that's a big thing, unhackable and unstoppable. And this is kind of a narrative that's probably not going to be able to play out in the next year or so, but it's a narrative that could probably potentially play out in the next 10 years. The fact that the software built on ICP is unhackable, unstoppable, does give it an edge. Now, the interesting thing will become, like, when it comes to like enterprises and stuff, the question becomes, how difficult will it be for like an enterprise to move their stack over to ICP? So we'll see in the future.
Just like the internet itself. This means that developers do not have to worry about the security and reliability of their applications and can focus on the application logic. That makes it far cheaper and more efficient to build and maintain applications. In fact, most applications that already run on the internet computer are built by very small teams. I invite you to further explore ICP. Check out Definity's YouTube channel for videos that explain how it works. Fire up your favorite browser and try some of the many great tabs. Or start building yourself by cloning some SOM.
So I guess the main pitch of the video was the security aspect of that, and the fact that it's ICP token is tokenized compute, and you're able to do all these very cool things on the ICP blockchain. Now, I wish in this video, of course, you can't sum up the point of this series. And I've watched a couple of them. I reacted to the Bitcoin DeFi one. Is they're supposed to be kind of small, short talks that are not supposed to be super in depth. But I think also what's kind of interesting about the why ICP is essential question is it's something that literally not even technically Definity necessarily even knows, and it's something that it could change in the future. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 5 years from now, a year from now, the use case or bull case or whatever for ICP could completely change. I think, kind of what my, personal, I always talk about chain fusion and stuff with ICP and how that's my bull case, but really the chain fusion is, has to do with the canister smart contracts. And the canister smart contracts are, I believe, what makes, the internet computer so, powerful. The fact that it's unhackable and unstoppable, and also, you're able to do these cross-chain capabilities, and it's the best cross-chain out of any other smart contracts. We also have the stable memory, which is very powerful. It's not like the Ethereum smart contracts where you have to constantly, redeploy new smart contracts if you want to change something. So it's, a serious bull case. I hope a Definity team one day could do a video on the canister smart contracts and kind of go over why they're so bullish and what they can bring to the table that no other blockchain offers. Yeah, and I think it would be found really attractive towards developers. When I talk to a lot of developers in the ecosystem, that's kind of what I mostly hear is we like ICP because the security and also the the chain fusion capabilities. But we'll see what the future holds. That's one of the interesting things about technology is nobody knows. ICP could be used for something we don't even know about, which is kind of wild to think about it. That 10 years from now, if ICP is still around and everything, that this thing could be used for something that may not even exist right now. Like it literally may not even exist right now, and it could ICP's main thing that it thrives with could be that thing. We don't even fucking know, which is a really cool thing. But I want to know, what do you all think about this video and what Jan had to say? Leave a comment down below. And yeah, I'm going to keep doing more reaction videos because YouTube likes it. Apparently you guys like it. And yeah, also, before I end this video, guys, on the prediction markets for Kongswap.io, I'm not going to say it's free game, but there's almost some free game here. Take a look at this stuff. The price of ICP is sitting around like $5 right now, and we have a market that went up for will the price of ICP be above $7 on March 31st. We also have another, we're doing short-term, price markets, one for Bitcoin. Will the price of Bitcoin be above 85,000 on March 31st, 2025? So there's a lot of really good game in the prediction markets, and regardless of the market conditions, you can always make money in the prediction market. So if you want to participate in that, there's going to be a link in the description. Also, go follow Kongswap on X at KongswapX. And go follow me on X2 at AaronBrems_. And yeah, thank you for watching.